I would be a
Marley
Punisher. I would go back to
Marley
every year
and kill every one of them.
Kill every one of them. I'd be responsible for
Marley
extinction. They'd be like, you can't do that. I'd be like, but I'm gonna. Come stop me. I'm killing all the
Marlians.
Why not?
I'm killing all
everyone.
If everybody and anyone knew got killed the first day that something gets killed by a fucking
Marlian in Paradise.
When a
Eldian
gets jacked, we should send in the
Wall Titans.
Just go through the fucking
world
and kill them all. Just like they're the enemy. You just get a giant line of
Wall Titans
to go through and kill those fucking
Marlians.
They're in the Bible, okay?
Yeah.
They're in the Bible.
Marlians.
Delete your baby.
How's it going today, guys and gals? My name is Gene, and welcome to this week's AA meeting. Before we begin, did you like that clip? Who knew Joe Rogan hated Marlians? After a month of suspense, the new chapter of Attack on Titan is finally here. Last we left off, Annie had quit the Anti Eren squad. We had some baby daddy drama, and Eren and his wall of colossal titans had reached the shores of Marley. If you'd like the full breakdown of last chapter, I suggest watching my last video right here. What is going to happen in this month's chapter? 131. Will the Anti-Eren squad finally fly the plane? Will Eren crush everyone? Or will Levi finally come out of hiding? Let's find out in this chapter breakdown. If this is your first time in one of these meetings, I do a rundown of the chapter, and then I follow it up with some analyzation and predictions to what I presume the next chapter will hold. Enough stalling. Let's begin.
スタープラチナザ・ワールドズギューンなんと、ジャンプ漫画史上最も奇妙な漫画と称される
Chapter 131 begins by showing us Halil and Ramsey looking over their money hiding spot. Ramsey, if you remember, is the boy from chapter 123 who is a part of the refugees of Marley who had lost their homes in the war, and Halil looks to be his brother. Ramsey discusses gleefully the prospect of having enough money to purchase a house of their own. Halil, with sorrow in his eyes, warns his brother that if he continues to steal, there will be another chance he'd lose his other hand. As the panel backs away, we see Ramsey had his right hand chopped off for stealing before. Ramsey gives justification to why he steals, informing Halil he'd like his people to leave the tents and allow him to live more fulfilling lives. However, Halil is tired and asks his brother, if he were to die, to return the money to everyone he had stolen it from. As the two stare off, they see people running away, and as they hide their money, they begin to notice something quite odd. Halil feels the ground rumble, as Ramsey notices a large cloud of smoke covering the land from the beach shore. Chapter 131. Rumble. A flock of crows flies over the boys as they stare off at the smoke, drawing ever so close to them. We then get a flashback of Eren. I don't know how long it'll take, but someday I'll massacre them all. As Eren is walking down the streets of Marley, presumably after he had left the cadet corps behind in the meeting, he stares at several civilians of this land he hates. Before long, they'll all die. No, I'll kill them. Eren, with no emotion in his face, continues to eye every citizen who hates the island of Paradise and who look at all of its residents as descendants of the devil. Right. Therefore, it's decided. In the future, too. Paradise Island didn't find a way to survive, right? Anything and everything will be lost. Houses, people, animals, lives, dreams. As Eren makes his way, he notices a pregnant lady and remembers his mother. Mom. What would she think? Are the ones who must die us Eldian people? Just like how the king of the walls chose the path of suicide? At the very least, the number of people between the island and the outside that die is a huge difference. It's the truth that if the Eldian people were to be completely extinct, the problem of the Titans would be gone. But that outcome is one I cannot agree with. Eren turns to see Ramsey getting beaten up by grown adults. That boy. I saw him in my future memory. I should probably help him. As Ramsey clenches his stomach in tears, the Marleyan men tell Eren to beat it and leave them to handle this refugee. Eren agrees and begins to walk away. What am I thinking? Even though I'll kill that boy someday. How conceited. There are no limits to the violence I'll commit from here on out. There is no excuse for my pretend justice. A memory within a memory of Eren's is shown. He's helping Ramsey make his way home. The future doesn't seem like it can be changed. He begins to fight the men and defend Ramsey. That was the same as Reiner. A piece of shit. No. Wrong. I'm worse than that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Eren cries to Ramsey as Ramsey questions why Eren is crying. The memory temporarily ends as we are shown the boys staring in fear from the colossal titans. As the civilians around them run, they question why these giant titans are here. They are contemplating on getting to higher ground, but notice that the titans are climbing the mountains. There is no place to run. As everyone is in a panic, Halil comes to the realization of his imminent death and informs his brother that they are about to be crushed. Ramsey, doing his best Eren impersonation, proclaims that they cannot give up. The Titans are amongst them at this point in time. For the sake of the island? The Eldians? No. It wasn't just that. As everyone runs, Halil drops the money and commences to pick it up as his brother shouts for him to come. What was really beyond the walls? It was different from what I dreamed of. As a Titan foot begins to move, drawing closer to the boys, it comes into contact with a building, shattering the stone to thousands of flying rock. As the rocks begin to rain down, from what I saw in Armin's book, it was different. The debris hits Halil, as the colossal titans are right above the boys. When I learned humanity lived outside the walls, I was disappointed. More debris hits the boys off-panel, showcasing the horror of the titans, as Ramsey has his leg crushed and Halil has his skull bashed. As a colossal's foot is above Ramsey, ready to crush him, we get one more Eren quote. I wished for everything to somehow disappear. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. As Ramsey's head becomes an accordion, he gets a glimpse of Ymir. The two brothers have been crushed. As everyone tries to escape, the sad truth hits as their fates have been decided. The backs of the titans are shown, and as far as learning that these are some thick titans with 3 Cs, we see that everything has been flattened and crushed to nothing but footprints. We are then shown a flashback to Eren and Armin as children. There's always been a depressing wall, burning water, land made of ice, snowy plains of sand. The outside world is so much wider than inside these walls. A wide shot is shown, showcasing Eren in his founding form, his colossal titans moving amongst the land. Ever since I was born, in front of my eyes, those who've seen it must be in all the world the most free. This is freedom. As a child, Eren basks at being beyond the walls with his arms wide. Suddenly, we are taken to Ymir's place as Eren's child makes contact with Armin, informing him that he had reached his destination. Annie, asking Armin a question, unintentionally snaps him back to reality. After Armin answers her question, Annie asks if Armin would like to sit next to her. The two begin to communicate as Annie thanks Armin for speaking to her all those years she was trapped in the hardened shell. We learn she had full consciousness while being inside there, and we learn that Armin wasn't the only one doing this practice, as Hitch, who had previously made fun of Armin for doing this, is shown to be just as guilty. Annie asks the obvious, why did Armin choose a rock as a communication partner? Armin decides to take this opportunity to cuck Berthold wherever he is and tells Annie that he just wanted to see her. Annie, out of embarrassment, begins to walk away, but the Chad has other plans and politely asks her to continue sitting. Armin informs her that he is not a good person and he has killed and become a monster long ago. As the ship roars, Annie asks the obvious and why they're doing what they do. Armin calmly lets her know that he made a promise to Eren long ago to travel into the unknown world. Annie, not impressed, asks if the world met his wild expectations. As Armin answers, a seagull lands next to them and makes direct eye contact with Armin. The final panel shows Eren inside the Titan. He looks lackadaisical, as his head is being held by muscle tissue and his spine is detached from his body. The path which diverged will once again. That concludes chapter 131. And please tell me that's not true at the bottom of the panel. To be continued in the October edition. I really hope that's a mistranslation because it's going to be a long 2 months to wait and see what the future holds in the story. Well, in any case, I hope Isayama and everyone involved in the manga are well and safe. They've given us 10 years of amazing stuff, and during this time, I can't be upset with having to wait to read a chapter. Anyway, back to the manga. This month's chapter was really sad, but really good. Who knew I'd feel sad to see a fictional character's death, as well as be so intrigued to see what Eren does next? What did you guys think of this chapter? There are 2 main topics I'd like to discuss really quickly and touch upon my last Attack on Titan video before I delve into predictions. The first is touching upon Eren's plan, and the second is discussing the relations between the Colossal and the female Titan. Let's begin. So, call me crazy, but is Eren acting like himself? This chapter showcases Eren's mixed feelings to the world. On one hand, we see Eren's hatred brew and fester as he walks and desires to kill presumably innocent civilians. Yet, at the same time, the good in him wanted to protect Ramsey from getting beaten up. Yes, he apologizes to him, knowing that he's going to eventually kill him in the future, and yes, he does hate the entire Marleyan race. However, something is very off-putting. I have a pretty stupid theory that Eren is seeing something different from what is actually going on. Yes, it has been made clear in the previous chapters that this is Eren's plan, but if we look back at the final panel, he seems not to be in control. His eyes are lax, and he looks defeated. But we can see he has muscles being connected to his head. Could they be used to keep his head up because of the injury he obtained last July? Possibly, yes. But let's ask, what if he's being fed a false scenery? When we glimpse at Child Eren with his hands in the sky proclaiming freedom, we see he's looking into the sky. We are only shown the front of him, so we cannot see what he's looking at. He states he's finally reached the scenery, and to me, it's odd that this is the scenery Eren so desperately desired to see. Finally, why did Ramsey see Ymir? Is everyone saying Ymir before they die? Again, this is only an idea, not fact, but could this have been Ymir's plan all along, to enact revenge for those who have used her and her powers for their natural gain? We know she's been the one sending messages to Eren when he was a child, but yet Eren was the one who begged her to allow him to use the power. It's all generally confusing, but to sum up this idea, Ymir is controlling Eren because Eren in the final panel looks too defeated to control a Titan, and Ramsey seeing Ymir before his death is too suspicious for my liking. Also, the last time Eren didn't have control of his Titan and looked defeated is back in the Trost district when he first tried to move the boulder but attacked Mikasa instead. It was Armin who was able to wake him up and drive him on his path, so I wouldn't be surprised if the same happens here. Second, I wanted to create a discussion between the Colossal and female Titan users, Annie and Armin. They had a cute moment together when Armin stated that he was only talking to her because he wanted to see her. As hopefully we all know, Bertold, the previous Colossal Titan user, also liked Annie. And Armin didn't seem to have these feelings prior to inheriting the Colossal Titan. This could be summarized that because Bertold liked her, now Armin reciprocates these feelings based on Bertold's memories. But what if there's more to that? What if there has always been a connection between the female and the Colossal Titan users? The knowledge of the previous Titan users in the series is very slim. In fact, the Jaw, the Attack, and the Founding Titan are the only 3 Titans with 3 or more known users. The rest is just the cast that we know and love today. I feel this is interesting because when one inherits a Titan, they receive the previous shifter's memories. In this case, an argument can be made that these 2 Titans are connected more than just Ymir. I doubt that this would be brought up in the future in the series at this point, but I just find it interesting and would like to get your guys' opinion on the subject. Finally, in my last Attack on Titan video, I discussed the prevalence of birds and bird imagery used in the series. If you guys haven't watched, I highly recommend watching that and partake in the hobby I like to dub in this series bird watching, as we spot birds and derive the concept and meaning behind them. This chapter teases my idea as twice we get 2 imagery of iconic scenes with birds. The one being when the flock of ravens, or crows, fly in the opposite direction of the incoming Titans. As we cut closer to one of them in particular, we get a bird eye image of what he is looking at. The second is when the seagull lands next to Armin and awkwardly makes eye contact with him. To me, at this point, this is more than just a coincidence, and I wish I knew the exact meaning. The only thing I can think of is the Wings of Freedom symbol used by the Scout Corps. In one of the intros, two birds fly in the opposite direction, forming the symbol. Here, we have two different birds flying in different directions, both quite possibly seeing Eren's definition of freedom. Final point is young Eren seemingly flying through the sky as he shouts freedom. Nothing in this series is added for no pointless reason. So let's do our best in bird watching, and hopefully one day we'll get a definite meaning behind the birds in this series. In terms of predictions, I'll dedicate a full video on that, breaking down what I think will happen. Just to not leave you guys hanging at the moment, I'd like to think that the group would at least begin to pilot the plane. If not, possibly we're going to witness more destruction or more flashbacks to when Eren left the team. What do you guys think is going to happen in next week's chapter? Anyway, that is going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss another AA meeting, please consider subscribing. At 1,000 subs, I'll do a face reveal. And also, if we beat my boy Bearded Saiyan in subs, I'll do a $100 Steam gift card giveaway in another video. I'm only like about, 700 subscribers away. So come on guys, let's show him who's boss. Also, go check out his channel. He makes excellent reaction videos to anime. Really, I'm going to link him in the description, go check him out. This has been Gene with Ascension Anime, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.